Have you ever met an animal and your heart just leaps out of your chest? You just know that there's something very special about them, and there's an instant connection, like the overwhelming love that you feel when you meet a person that is perhaps your twin flame. In this episode, you will learn what soul contracts are and the role soul pets play in your life. If you don't know me, I am an animal communicator. My name is Sarah Jane, and I specialize in trauma, helping people and animals to heal from their attachment wounds and unresolved trauma so that they can heal and live a healthy life, balanced and hopefully long. I've also written a pet grief guidebook to help you to navigate through pet loss and death and grief and the afterlife and all that good stuff to really help you to get through challenging times. There's also a companion memorial and grief journal that goes with it, and it makes up for a lovely gift to someone you know that perhaps has lost a pet. So check it out. And as always, please hit the subscribe button, and if you like this video, and share it with others who may find this helpful. I would be so grateful. I also read all your comments and questions, so please keep adding your voice to the conversation. So what exactly is a soul contract with an animal? Just like people, animals choose us as their soul people to help us to grow and evolve our souls and take us on our spiritual journey with more ease and grace and joy. The key is they come to learn lessons with you, and you made these agreements to reincarnate with them in the spirit world, right down to when and how many lifetimes you will share together. Each one of them comes with a specific set of soul instructions to teach us and for us to teach them, and the agreements that we made in this earth school. They want us to learn healthy interdependence and not to form unhealthy codependency with them or anybody else. They want us to believe in ourselves and trust that our gifts matter, that we're enough. And each physical being, animal, person, bird, and insect that crosses your path, whether it's a brief or over a long time, is here to teach us soul lessons. Some have big roles where you just recognize the connection instantly, and there is a very strong bond. And other roles that are more supportive roles, they are all playing a role, just as you are, to raise your consciousness on the planet. They are masters of unconditional love, and there is no separation. There is no ranking that I am more important than the ant, and the ant is no more important than me. And everything has value, and everyone has their own role to play in the web of life and the future of a sustainable planet. I made another episode on how to work with animal totems and guides, which I'll post here. Even if you're scared of a cat or a dog or a cow or a snake, there is always a contract there where that animal is here to try and help you to grow and evolve and get past your fears and your life traumas, where perhaps you made a vow never ever to love an animal that much again because it just hurt too much. So you take a vow, you create an allergy to make sure that you keep that promise in place. Over the past 2 decades, I have worked with so many people who have phobias about spiders or cats or snakes, and oftentimes there has been a past life trauma. One woman I worked with was really afraid of cats. In fact, she was terrified. Even if she saw one, she'd kind of freeze. And I was so excited when she told me the other day that she'd adopted an elderly cat and is learning so much about herself and love through this soul contract. It's something she never dreamt of or thought was even possible. In a soul contract with an animal, just as in your relationships with people who come into your life, there's a certain amount of mirroring that occurs. And we all come into physical form to have our own personal experiences. The idea that animals are our own personal gurus to only support and serve us at any cost, and that they have no free will to live as their own sovereign beings within the constructs of domestication, is, I think, overly simplified and a little misguiding and actually incredibly selfish on one level. not everything is about you, and believing that another living being is coming into your life to act as your mirror has the potential to cause a lot of unnecessary suffering and guilt. This is the last thing that your animal companion would want you to dwell on anytime that they're sick or injured, and certainly not after their passing. However, because animals have mastered unconditional love and patience and persistence, they will come to teach you a lot of that through inspiration. They will ask, do we have a conversation here? And can you just be present to this behavior, to the illness, to the beauty, to the anger, whatever it is for you in that moment? That is their biggest lesson to us. So if you can relate to having similar sensitivities and disposition to your animal companion, just trust that this is a deep, deep, deep soul connection where you both benefit from being together. And the key word is with, right? So what is good for you will be good for your pet. And often you will do for them what you won't do for yourself. For example, if you don't feel safe around people and you get very anxious, your soul pet may have a very similar disposition because they've picked you to teach you how to stand in your truth and to co-create and make your own safety and boundaries so that you can meet any challenging situation with courage. If you have a horse that has a very bully archetype that pushes you around and the other horses, and it really frustrates you, they want those feelings to come up so that you can learn how to stand your ground and draw a line in the sand and put very healthy boundaries in place. Understand that your pet is very aware of their soul contract with you, even if you aren't. You made that agreement, and they take their jobs really seriously. They will help you through challenging situations and illness and grief and all the difficult life transitions like death, as well as help you to have more joy and play more in your life. And in times like this, they'll communicate very directly to you through behavioral changes or illness or something else, like maybe running away, for example. It does happen, and it is an act of unconditional love to get you to be aware of something in your own life that you need to change. Not everything is about you. As I said, they are not always mirroring you. And to say that they will take on stuff is, as I said, not very kind. If you're feeling guilty that you perhaps had to euthanize your pet or it died of natural causes and you thought you didn't do enough, remember that all living beings, human and non-human, are on their own soul path to learn, to grow, and to connect for a limited time in physical form. We may not always understand why we or others choose what we choose or do what we do or have the people and animals in our life, but our understanding will grow and change over time. I go into depth about this topic in my book and inside my animal communication program, Being Human. So if that interests you, you'll find the details in the box below. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you have a soul pet or two, and what lessons have you learned from them where they are living and if they have passed?